Hi there, everyone. It is I, Patricia Rose, back again for another video. So, as I mentioned in the previous video, the essentially where have we been kind of thing, it's been an interesting couple of months. I'm going to tell you guys about one of the crazier experiences that we have had. Okay, so we're gonna go back probably about a month or two. I think it's been about a month and a half at this point. I had gone to sleep after, getting back from work and trying to get a decent amount of sleep because I didn't sleep too well the night before. And I wake up to go to the bathroom. And my mother's home, and she asked me, your grandfather's out there, right? Basically outside working on my car. To which I'm like, in a sleepy haze, I say no. To which she says, yeah, look outside. And I see the man, my grandfather, outside working on my car. So I'm like, okay, he didn't let me know. He didn't let my mother know. He didn't let anybody know. He just showed up. Now, that would have been all okay. I didn't care that he was working on the car. It was just that he did not let anybody know that he was going to come over. Mind you, he lives in a different house. So my thought process was to go put some clothes on aside from my pajamas and, see what was up and try to get him to, next time he comes over, let somebody know he's coming over. Because, one, that's not his house, and it's kind of as far as I'm concerned, it's a little disrespectful to just show up at somebody's house without their permission and without any prior conversation about that. So I got dressed, after going to the bathroom, put some clothes on, and I blacked out. So as far as I'm concerned, it was like I had fallen back asleep. Like, I got a little dizzy, and I'm like, oh, sure, whatever. It's probably because I'm dehydrated. Let me drink some water. Well, that didn't happen. So we're going to fast forward a few hours. I had finally come to. I wasn't entirely sure of my surroundings, but I know I was outside. And the whole time I'm wondering, and I'm looking, and I can see almost like I'm watching myself walk through, like, a screen or something. Kind of like I'm watching it on TV. And things are a little hazy, and I just hear a voice, like a little kid just saying, not safe, not safe, not safe, not safe, over and over again. And I kept trying to ask, like, who it was and what was going on. And I felt like I was pushed back in a way. And I essentially blacked out again. So maybe about another hour later. At this point, it's probably been about 3 hours. Probably about 3 hours since I went to go talk to my grandfather, or wanted to go talk to my grandfather. And at this point, I come to, and I'm the next town over. So, fun fact, the next town over is, if I were to walk, I haven't calculated this on Google Maps and so on and so forth. And walking the next town over is about 3 hours away. And that's the town I used to live in. And thankfully, the town where my best friend Tom, that's where he lived. So I was freezing. My left leg was really hurting. And I was just confused, and I was to the point where I was like almost in tears. I just tried to hold everything back because I was so overwhelmed. I checked my pockets to see if I had my phone, which thankfully I did. I had my phone, I had a flashlight, and I had a bottle of water on me. I was not carrying my purse. I was not carrying anything. No money, no nothing. So, in like my cold hands, I pulled up my phone and I asked Tom if he's home. And Tom says, yeah, I'm home. I'm doing what I usually do. What are you doing? And I said, well, apparently I'm in the area and I'm cold. Can I come over? And he says, of course. So I walked maybe another, I don't know, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. And when I come to his house, like, he can see that I am just shaken. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing here. And he asks me, okay, which one of you is in the front right now? Because he knew it wasn't Angel. Because Angel, he really can't do my voice too well. He's trying, and he's trying to pick it up, but it's difficult for him, especially, you know, what with the accent and the difference in language. But either way. So I tell him, of course, that it's me, that it's Pat, and he asked me what happened exactly. So I recounted what I knew, and I didn't know anything in between. And it was probably 3.5 hours total that I had apparently traveled on foot in the rain to get to. Mind you, it was cold. It was apparently raining because the ground was wet. So I stayed over at my friend Tom's house for a little bit, for a couple of hours, just so I could calm myself down, because I was practically hysterical. I was in tears. I was starting to hyperventilate. And just from him sitting there listening and, you know, offering me a sandwich, I managed to calm down after a while. And this was still when I was in that very dark place. I was not good. But he listened, and when it came time for me to go, which was a few hours later, so I was probably there for another 2 hours, he paid for an Uber for me to get home, which I'm still grateful for, because I didn't have any money. I had no way of getting money. So I would have had to walk another 3 hours. It would have been in the dark. Okay, so I did find out what happened, like the in-between part, a few hours later. Or not a few hours, a few weeks later. Sorry. My brain's all over the place today, but I found out probably about another 2 weeks after. Angel told me what happened. Actually, I want to see if he wants to speak, because he's kind of, like, I believe he's co-conscious to some sort of degree.
As Patricia might have told you, or she might have not, I don't bloody know. During the time of what she prefers to call the Exodus, I spoke with the grandfather, and he was not too happy with me. Now, I did attempt cordiality with the whole situation. But you see, dealing with a child trapped in an adult's body is not very simple to deal with. As far as they're concerned, they'll do whatever they damn well please, simply because they're adults. I told the grandfather, "What do you think you're doing here? Did you notify anybody of your arrival at all?" To which he did not take my line of questioning very positively. Well, he told me not to give him the runaround, and that if I did not like him being here, he could leave. To which I responded, quite simply, for you to show up at another's home without any prior announcement, that is honestly quite rude. You are not being forcibly removed. Just notify somebody if you please. and he did not like that. So he decided to throw a bit of a temper tantrum, slam his tools around like a little Neanderthal. And he got in his vehicle and he left. Now, the mother, Patricia's mother, on the other hand, I do not believe she's very fond of me. Let us say she attempted to scream at me, telling me that I had fucked up all chances of getting the vehicle fixed at that point. To which Patricia's vehicle was not operational at that point in time. And I do believe it was beyond our expertise. Though I tend to be a little more logical based, and Patricia is quite the emotional sort. But the mother, returning to her, she tells me, I do not want to hear you and your British voice. I am speaking to Patricia. To which, at this point, I was becoming quite perturbed. And I told her, you are speaking to the one who spoke to your father. And I was not disrespectful or angry with him. I asked him to kindly notify you or I, or Patricia, whoever, that he wishes to come over to announce his presence. This is not his home. He did not pay for this. He does not own it. I, being in quite the cross mood, I decide to return to the room and attempt to lay the body down for rest. But control was wrenched from me by Patricia. She had a bit of an emotional breakdown and decided to retreat afterwards. I'm not sure what happened after the fact, but I did come to once or twice, only to hear a bloody child's voice saying that it was not safe. Oh, it's not safe. Now, as you have heard in my video, I do not favor children. Not at all. So I asked the child, who in the bloody hell are you? Only to hear, not safe. After some time, I essentially said, oh, fuck this, and went about my business, realizing the child was not a threat. Though, as time has gone on, I have attempted to speak to this child. They do not speak very much, aside from the words safe, not safe, and they say what I believe is their name, which is Oswin. And this Oswin, when they say Oswin, they place their hand upon their chest and repeat Oswin. I do believe this is not a fully formed altar in the sense of myself, Scarlet, the couple, or the cat, or even Patricia for that matter. So, I believe it's one of those partial altars, if you will, which either way they are still a little, as far as I'm concerned. Though, it is quite odd to have one of those in our community. Simply put, we do not have a little outside of Mary. But aside from that, I do believe we have yet another guest. I believe that draws our little tale to a close. Yes. To those of you that have made it to the end, I do appreciate your continued listening and support. But either way, I shall be concluding this video as Patricia is currently indisposed at the moment. So I bid you all farewell until we meet again. Goodbye.